all right. We are back with another episode of Non-Fiction, and we have some good stuff for you guys to listen to today. The topic is the importance of having a two-parent household.
Right.
Myself, I was raised in a one-parent household. I had a stepdad later on in life, but it wasn't. It was an abusive relationship. My stepdad, so he was no role model to me. I want to get the rest of y'all's take on this.
Well, I grew up with two parents. Still to this day they there for me. And I appreciate them to this day.
Shoot. Man, I got both sides of the fence. And I felt like I did pretty good.
And I was raised like Will, just my mama. It was rough. It was rough.
Yeah, because having a father or a mother, one or the other, for me, I missed out on a lot. Like, I'm right-handed. I shoot a basketball with my left hand, and I learned that from friends.
Mhm.
I can't shoot a basketball to save my life with my right hand.
So
But
are you saying it's important that if the father was around, because it shouldn't matter. I mean, you learn something outside of what anybody else would
That's
know
true.
how to do.
Yeah, but if his father was around, he would know where that comes from, because I'm pretty sure that's a trait that's probably going through majority of the men on your father's side. If they ambidextrous like that they can write with one hand but can't shoot. You could throw with that hand though, right?
No.
Okay, then, so they can
No.
write with one hand and throw with the total different hand. That ambidexterity is something that's probably hereditary.
Right. You could have been better if you pretty much had a daddy
No,
or both sides. Well, I wouldn't say better, but you could have learned, differently.
But
Right.
he did. Shooting with his left hand, and he's
Right.
right-handed.
But he had
Right.
to find out on his own, though.
Had to find out on my own.
Like is your son
Okay,
like
so
that?
that's the point.
No, my son is right-handed all the way.
Okay.
Right.
So that's the point.
But
You had to learn on your
I had
own.
to learn
You
on my
would
own.
prefer to learn.
I would prefer to have learned from a father figure.
and to know where it came from also. Because that could have came from a grandmama or a granddaddy.
Yeah,
You
they
never
could
know.
come from anywhere.
You never know where it came from. You know what I mean? It definitely, that sounds like something hereditary.
But I think
though.
it's a good thing that he learned how to shoot with his
Yeah.
left hand, and he's predominantly a
Oh, yeah, it's definitely
right-handed.
good. But, I mean, it's just, I don't know. See, you had time with both mom and dad.
Mhm.
So any questions that arose in your mind at any given time, you could ask. And
Yeah.
more than likely get a good answer.
Yeah.
Man,
Dating and all
we didn't
that?
have that.
It was non-existent.
We had it.
Because who do I ask? Hey, Dad, how do you ask a girl out?
Yeah.
How do you,
Right.
Right.
who do you ask all that? I ask my mama. She ain't
See,
gonna
I
know.
remember my mama,
Right.
she was just straight to the point. I knew everything, even about sex and all that. She
Oh,
talked
wow.
to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And see, another thing growing up with just my mom worked 2-3 jobs at a time. So she wasn't around very often
Yep.
either. So then now I have to rely on grandma.
That's
Grandma
another.
ain't giving no
You know,
info.
And all grandma's doing is
Grandma
trying
tell
to
you better go outside and play.
Or trying to protect you and
Right.
say, hey, what you doing over there? Hey,
Right.
you know what time you got to come in? Lights on, street light.
Grandma say stay in the kids' place, and grandma
True.
means stay in the kids' place.
True.
And then, another thing with not growing up with a dad, I'm going to just go on a little. I find myself, I feel like he abandoned me for whatever reason, or whatever reason that's all I am. So I feel myself doing the same thing to like people I love. You know what I mean? You get a little close. Oh, no. You stay back there. I push you away.
So are you saying you've had some form of a relationship with him before?
You know, I met him because my older sister's birthday fell on Easter Sunday one year, and we went up to his church. Her and I.
Please tell me her birthday ain't April 12th.
I'm gonna look retarded because now I can't remember.
That's
now
my
you put him on the
birthday.
spot.
Yeah, now you put me on the spot.
Right.
That's my birthday, and it often falls on Easter Sunday, usually when it falls on Sunday.
Mhm.
That's why I was asking. But continue, sir. You met him, and
So we go up to his church. You know, it is the fastest church. My father was a reverend, by the way. It's the fastest church service I've ever been to in my entire life. The man got up there, looked out to the crowd, seen us, did his sermon, boom, off to gone. I'm like, wow, this woo.
So he didn't know you was coming.
No, he didn't know. No.
Okay.
She kind of set him up.
You think the service was that quick because y'all was there?
I don't want to assume, but I'm gonna assume.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't like assuming, but I'm gonna assume that's why it was. We went back to his office. It was like looking in a mirror. My sister left me in there all by myself. She said, "Oh, I'm gonna go take down some chairs or something." I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute. This is the first time I'm face to face with this man, you know."
Mm-hmm.
And all he didn't ask how I was doing, how I've been.
Mm.
And this man, you know, we went back to his house for dinner, and his wife is a reverend too. He introduced me as my sister's brother, but on her mom's side.
Mm.
So he didn't say, "Oh, this, by the way, this is my son. This is, this is."
Wow.
Right.
He don't know. He didn't know how to address it.
Right. That's
You know what? He knew how to address it. I don't know. You know, I try to put myself in my father's shoes with him not being in my life, and you know, I try to walk that path that he had to walk. And do you ever find yourself trying to do that, Will? Like trying to put yourself in his shoes at that point, like just thinking back and like, man,
Well,
what was going through his head? Was he scared to tell her, and was that gonna bring out more
right.
skeletons out of the closet that he thought he had buried for good?
Right.
You know,
because what had to been happen is he was with my older sister's mom,
mm-hmm.
and he worked with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to been fooling around with both of them.
Right.
Because she's, not even a year older than me.
Mm.
She's just like a couple months.
Mm.
But no, she's April, May, and I'm January. So.
Oh wow, yeah, that's same time.
Yeah. So that's what had to been happen. So once he impregnated my mom, he must have thought, "Oh crap, I can't have anything to do with that because I got something going on over here."
Mm.
Because he was married to my sister's mom.
But you would think though, once you did finally get to meet him, seeing as him being a man of the cloth and his wife also being a woman of the cloth, you would just think that it would be some kind of clarity and truth. You know what I mean? You would really think that she would be like, well, if that's your son, whatever happened.
Right.
But
let's move
you
forward
need to
from
be
here.
there for him because that's your son, you know. And by him not exposing, just say, oh, that's her brother. You know what I mean? That's just, I'm going to leave that skeleton over there right there. Still got a little dirt on it. It ain't blow off yet, so I'm going to just let that thing lay down over there.
So was you real young when you went up to the church? Or was it like recently?
I was like 27, 28.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I wasn't young at all. No. And then years passed, I wrote him a note. I wrote him a letter. I said, look, I don't know what you think I want from you. I don't want anything from you.
Right.
I don't need no money.
Right.
I don't need no cars. I don't need no houses. I bought all that, got all that myself. You can't teach me how to play sports. I learned all that from friends and on my own. All I will want is a relationship with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote me back. He wrote me back saying he didn't think I was his son. I said, okay.
Wow.
I said, okay, I got you. I said, let's go have on a paternity test. You know, I said, my mother-in-law works for the OB at St. Mary's. Let's do it. He said, let's do it. I said, but before we do that, I got one better than you. I got a picture of you holding me after I was born.
Mm.
He said, send me that picture. Send me that picture. Uploaded the picture, sent it to him. He said, I can't deny that's me.
Right. Right.
So he said, we don't need to take no test. That's me.
Okay.
So we were on the verge of starting a relationship, and then he passed away.
Wow.
So
Dang.
Wow.
So there's still some lost
It
files.
Still lost.
there is.
Oh man,
There's
that's
a lot of lost files.
Oh,
He passed away,
man.
and then his wife ended up passing away 3-4 months after he did.
Whoa.
So
That's heavy.
Right.
that made me feel thankful, you know, because
Oh.
I told my dad the same thing, and this was about probably 13, 14 years ago, and I went to him and I showed up and just told him, like, hey, I don't care what happened between you and mom. That's the past. That's y'all's history. That's y'all's, business. I just care about the future.
right,
And I'm here now. You here now.
right.
You got
You got-
another son, and I want to be part of y'all life, you know.
Right.
And I just want to go from here. I don't care. I say I just want to know who I am and the things that I've inherited, who I've inherited from, you know. I
Right.
just want to know who I am. And, he talked a good game. Like, yeah, Sonny, yeah.
Ain't heard from him.
Man, he won't reach out to me,
See?
man. Like his wife will text me or message me on Facebook if the family's got like a gathering or something. And it's like I told my dad, I say, I understand how you feel. You feel ashamed. You feel like you're less than, but I don't look at you like that. I'm
Right.
looking at you in a new light because I'm giving you the chance that you really want. I'm not trying to dredge up how I had to grow up, wishing you was there or wishing
Right.
I was with you or just wishing I knew why I did some of the stuff I did.
Right.
I don't know, but
Let's just pick up from right here
from right there,
and
this very moment.
and let's go.
Yes, because I told him.
Because you can't. There's nothing
No
you
way.
can do for me
Well, my
but
exact
be there for me as a father.
and my
from
exact
right now.
words to him was, I want to build a relationship with you because if you died yesterday or tomorrow, I wouldn't know how to feel. And them was my
I
exact
didn't know.
words to him.
I didn't know how to feel either when I got that call. When my sister called me and said she talked to my wife. Actually, I was working midnights.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to get up to go to work, and she told my wife, and my wife had to tell me. I didn't know how to feel either, to be honest with you. For a long time, I wasn't going to go to the funeral.
Right.
But I said, you know what? No, you got to. Don't
You
go
gotta
for
put it
him.
behind, yeah.
You got to go for your sisters
Yeah.
Right.
and the
And
rest
for
of the family.
yourself. You gotta. I mean, I ain't saying you gotta bury that portion of you, but you gotta basically at that point, unless you know more of his family to go and talk to, you really just kind of do gotta just bury that side because it's gone. I mean, he gone. I mean, all that pain, all that resentment feeling,
Right.
all them anxieties you grew up feeling, you just gotta bury it with him.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that he's got more family that you can reach out to. And
Oh yeah. I still talk to my sisters and
no, I mean like
my
his
auntie.
brothers. Okay, so
now
he's
see,
got
I had 2 aunties and an uncle.
Okay.
Uncle done passed away.
Oh.
My other auntie done passed away.
Whoa.
So now I'm left with Auntie Jeanette.
Mm.
I'm left with her,
Man.
and she's in contact with me
Mm.
from
Well,
time to time.
that's good. So she could tell you a lot of stuff about like how it was when they
But the
was
crazy
kids.
thing is, right? The crazy thing is, though, my uncle accepted me. My auntie Happy accepted me. My auntie Jeanette accepted me. They couldn't tell me what was wrong with my daddy. They did. He's just an idiot. You know, he a moron. He don't know what he's got. Da 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 da. What?
But have you really sat there and put yourself, like literally put yourself in
In
his
his
shoes?
shoes?
Yeah, just like literally, like put
Oh,
yourself in his shoes at that exact moment from him being married and just getting his wife pregnant, and then he done met this young lady that he worked with and now he done knocked her up. Like, put yourself in that
and
situation
all
and
in high
really
school. Ain't graduated high school yet.
see.
Ain't graduated high school
So
yet.
so you think I'm still in high school? I got
I
two women
done
pregnant.
messed up.
I don't know what to do. If I tell this one, she gonna leave me and probably take my baby. But if I hide this one, I don't know. I'm not. Don't think I'm sitting
Right.
up
Oh,
here.
no.
I'm not
I know.
advocating for him.
I
I'm just saying
know.
because
He was
like
put in a tough. Well, he put himself in a tough spot. He wasn't put in a tough spot. He put himself in a tough spot.
because in my situation, I found out that my dad didn't want kids, and he had me and my sister a year apart, and he didn't want kids. So
Oh wow.
he wasn't really feeling that aspect. So I didn't. I got to see him a little bit, and then we moved down south. Then when I was 8, we came back up here, and I seen him, and I ain't see him again until I was like 25, from 8 to 25.
Right.
But I always went out of my way to reach out to him, even just to try to see if I could just come up here and spend 2
Right.
weeks.
Well, another thing is, like, did you ever see about like your granddaddy on that side, on your daddy's side? Was he the only? Was he a part of your daddy's life too? Because I feel like it's stuff gets passed down.
Mm.
I had both
Generational.
parents. I had both parents in my life. I had pretty much spoiled and got everything I wanted. So my daughter should get not only what I got,
But more.
Mhm.
Right.
and that got to keep going down. And sometimes a person just have a single parent in their life and be like, well, I made it with one parent, so I ain't got to do nothing for my kids or something like that. That's how people think. And it
Right.
gets passed down, and next thing you know, it's a whole bunch of people that ain't only got one parent in their life,
Right.
instead of just keep going forward.
Right.
Like if you didn't reach out to them, what would have happened,
If I didn't reach out to him, what would have happened?
Yeah.
I don't. Who
And
knows?
another thing is like the stuff that you learn. I feel like a person learns if they don't have a daddy in their life, they go to their friends and
Right.
you learn sports and stuff off of them.
Right.
Basically, you're still looking for that daddy, but
Right.
through your friends though.
So
Right.
And
most
you
of your
finding that,
friends
you
you
finding,
hung with,
yeah,
they dads was in their life.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
whenever they dads took them
Yeah.
out, you tagged along. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
the same
that's what I'm
way.
saying.
Oh,
You
yeah.
still
I
looking for
found a
that.
white boy in my ghetto neighborhood who daddy was raising them, and I tagged along everywhere. Spent the night every weekend, and I was there. I didn't care.
Right.
I didn't care what my mama said, but you gotta come home at the school. I'm trying to see what it's like to grow up with a daddy.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and they look for that through their friends a lot,
Yeah.
trying as far as sports and everything, because the person probably wasn't there. I mean, my parents and stuff was always there. I knew how to play sports because my dad
Right.
played sports, and he still plays sports to this day,
Mhm.
So we steady learning and keep it going. So my daughter, she getting into basketball now, so it's gonna keep getting passed down,
Right.
But see, you know where everything came from.
Right.
though.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't
I
know.
don't-
Like
I
I've been
don't know.
fishing since I was 8. I ain't never caught a
Right.
fish. But then I go to my my granddad's funeral, and I'm hearing stories about how they all went fishing together. Took my cousin, my little brother. I'm like, dang, I ain't never got invited
Right,
fishing to
right.
go nowhere. Like,
Yeah, see,
I'm right here in town. Like,
Oh, we
yeah. So it
kind of heartbreaking.
yeah,
Yeah.
it break my heart, but it don't discourage me. It pushes me towards just trying to be a better father for my kids.
Right.
And that's it. That's it. So
The bright side.
right, because we were never
Taught how to
taught.
be dads.
Right.
Nobody's taught
Well,
how to be a parent.
I was taught.
No,
I was
it's
taught
so
how to be
true.
a parent from TV. So everything, Carl Winslow and Uncle Phil
Right.
and Heathcliff Huxtable, all them was doing. I do the same thing. I try my best. I mean, I try my everything best, not to spank my kids. You know, I try not to yell at them. I try
Me too. Me too.
everything I see on TV, man. That seems
But
right. I
it-
try to talk. It don't always work, though.
Right. All the stuff on TV ain't right either, though. You know what I'm
It
saying?
ain't real.
No, because
It's not real.
perfect.
You're gonna put that persona up so you can get some kind of idea.
Right. You get some kind of idea, but it's like, people think my daughter is like spoiled. And I go overboard and yes, she is. Okay, I ain't gonna say it, she ain't. She is. But this is the same stuff I had though. And I feel like, I still got my parents. She got me and her grandparents.
Exactly.
So she gotta get, a little bit more now, you know.
And don't get it twisted. My Christmases, oh my God, the mama
Yeah.
went above and beyond.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's trying to compensate because I didn't have a dad or it's just
Now, was you your mom's only child?
no. I got a little brother.
Okay, then.
I got a little brother with her.
Okay.
We're 7 years apart. So,
Okay. Oh man.
but
Oh,
So
I really
my
don't-
question
They
my
were
question
for
to
a
you,
long
Will.
time.
Yeah.
Will, what if you grew up in your daddy race, you're not your mama? How do you think?
I'd be totally different. I'd probably be in the NBA or NFL somewhere.
But he would still have identity issues. I deal with identity issues every day, man. Every day. I look in the mirror, I see something. Where that come from? I don't remember my mom looking like that, having a little more like that. I don't know where it come from.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I could easily jump in the car, ride out to Hopkins, talk to grandma for a couple of hours and find out, but it's like, that ain't her job.
Right.
That's her son's job. And I don't know. It really pushes me, man. It pushed me to know that no matter how hard I try to get close to my father, he constantly pushed me away. His wife tried to pull me in,
Right.
but he pushed me away. And by him not trying to pull me in, I don't want to go in. I mean, I do want to spend time with my little brother, but he always with my dad. So it's like, if I can't.
Well, how old is your brother?
19.
Well, I mean, yeah, he always with your daddy, but I mean, y'all
You can
basically
develop a
you
relationship
gotta
outside that.
go and do that though.
I can't. Like, he is like on his teeth, like up underneath him.
Oh,
Nah,
well.
he's grown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he grown, but he on his teeth.
Yeah. But it's like, hey,
you got to think, he was raised up as an only child.
Mm.
He didn't have me and my sister around,
Mhm.
So he was the only child. So that's all he know is mom and dad.
Mm.
He know all of dad's side of the family, all our hundreds of cousins that I don't even know,
Mhm.
but he don't even know his own brother and sister. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's not my fault. That's dad's fault.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's like with your dad, that situation, you being 20 in your 20s, and I'm pretty sure you met your siblings earlier.
Yeah.
But
my older sister actually sought me out.
that's what I'm saying. For the
I was
fact,
at work one night and this young lady comes to the work window and she's like, "Are you so and so?" I'm like, "Yeah." Can you step outside for a second? So I step outside. She said, "I'm your sister." I'm like, "Oh my God."
and not once did he think, just, man, let me round all these kids up and have one big introduction and let them know, I'm sorry, daddy ain't perfect. I'm a man, I'm a minister, but I'm a man first. We human, we gonna make mistakes.
Mhm.
It might don't seem like a mistake when we're doing it, but I mean, when we gotta pay for it, that's when we know it was a mistake. So nobody perfect, man. And that's what I tell my dad. I told my dad, I'm not perfect.
Right.
I was already divorced once already. I'm like, I'm not perfect. I don't look at you like you perfect. I just look at you like I want to know you. I want to
That's
know who
it.
you is,
That's it.
and I just want to be part of the life too, man.
That's it.
Wow.
There were still things I felt there were still things that he could have taught me as a man. You know
It's
what I
all
mean?
it's never too
There's
Yeah,
late.
you
always
never.
something to
Yeah.
learn as a
It's
man. You
never
know,
too late.
Right.
Like they say, you could always teach an old dog new tricks. Man, you
right,
could always, as long as you got time, you could always be forgiven. And
Hmm.
you might already be forgiven and don't even know because you won't even put yourself out there to find out.
right.
You too shameful. Like, and that's the thing with men, and I notice it a lot. When we feel ashamed, it's like a feeling of shunning to us. Like whenever we're around that person or get near that person, we don't even want that person to see us. Like that shame is like, it's like a guilt on us that is like so heavy. It's something men don't never talk about shame and how it feels to
Hmm.
No,
hold shame, but
no.
it's such a heavy feeling, and it'll take even the strongest man down
Wow.
because it's that heavy. We will sit up and act so prideful because we got that much shame in us.
Mm.
We would want to be. I'm pretty sure your dad wanted to be in your life, but
Yeah. I'm sure he did.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
sure he
he
did.
had so much shame and
But
was so afraid that he would lose everything and not know where to
right,
go from there.
but
That shame just weighed on him so
right.
heavy.
And he probably didn't know the approach. He probably didn't know what my reaction would have been.
And
I
that's
could have hauled off and cussed
slugged
the
him
dude out,
anything.
punched him out, whatever. What f you been? Da, 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 da.
But he'd have never
He
known
wouldn't.
unless he
He
tried.
had no idea.
And he never tried because that shame was too heavy for him.
Right.
And that's how I feel about my pops. I feel like he just really that ashamed that he wasn't in my life growing up. I got locked up as a teenager, armed robbery, all kind of stuff, man. But I don't blame him for that. I don't blame him for the choices I made as a kid.
Right.
But as an adult and going to him as an adult and telling him exactly what's up, I blame him for every single minute that he missed of my life. He haven't even seen his grandson.
And
His
that's
grandson
another
5
thing
years
I
old.
did.
He ain't never seen him yet.
That's another thing I told my dad. I said, you got a granddaughter who wants to meet you, and
Yeah,
I want you to meet her.
yeah.
You
Hmm.
got a daughter-in-law who I want you to meet.
But that shame ate him up, man. Honestly, I feel like if he'd have came out of that shame, he might still be here today. That shame is something
Possibly,
serious, man. It's
possibly. That's
Stress will
quite
kill you.
possible.
yeah.
That's quite possible.
It'll create
How old was he
ulcers
when he
and
passed?
everything.
He 53.
Oh yeah,
Still
he's
Wow.
super
young,
young.
young.
Wow.
That shame, man. That
53.
shame ate him up.
Yeah.
That shame ate him
Yeah.
up, man.
You're probably right. He probably
Yeah.
did stress out. I mean, you got a lot of he had enough stress of being a minister,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
You being a
all that
minister, yeah, and then your life choices
you're
that
right.
you trying to
Not
live
being
by
there
this
for your
book.
kids
Exactly. That's
is
more shame. Like
yeah.
every time he opened that book up, he felt more shame come on him. Every single time he opened up that Bible and read this passage, it's just more shame. And I can't believe that it's 2023
Man.
and we ain't got not one see. I'm starting to see a lot of videos of people say, "Oh, a man goes through this, nobody knows it." But I ain't never heard one person just say what it's like for a man to go through
Yeah.
shame.
Another thing is like, far as your daddy and your mama, it's like was your daddy like a minister all his life? That
No,
from
no,
well,
because when
because
I was
you got
about
to go back and see what exactly happened. Like, what if your mama did something wrong and caused him to leave? You know, not
well, they were never together.
they was never together.
No, they were never
Um,
together.
well, what if
So they
she?
just worked together. And
Just had a
and
little.
now see, I lived over in the Hillcrest subdivision. I lived on Oakdale. He lived on Hillcrest. So this dude even lived on the street
Wow.
over.
Whoa.
And he would drive by the crib he would drive by the house and same thing.
Wouldn't even
Well, that goes back to
stop.
that
Wouldn't
shame
stop.
then.
My mom used to take me when I remember this
Take
like it
you to
was
go see
yesterday.
him.
She used to take me up to the old Kmart parking lot.
Mhm.
And he rolled down the window, and she rolled down my window. He talked to me for a little while, but he never like came and picked me up and let's go get some ice cream. Let's go to the park. Let's go here. No. It was just a meeting at a parking lot for 5 minutes
Man,
and adios. You know,
that's heavy.
have a good life.
You couldn't let the secret out.
Yeah,
That's some more shame right there.
yeah.
And just every single day of his life, he thought about them moments.
Well, I'm sure he did.
He thought about them moments and probably thought, man, why I didn't get out? Why I didn't hug him? Why I didn't tell him who I am? Why, it's heavy, man. It's so heavy.
Now can we flip the script and say, Mama kept me away from him?
That's what I was just getting at.
I don't know.
I
don't know. She never came out and said, I ain't want you to know your dad. I guess I've never asked her.
Like, I've never met a woman that didn't want their child to actually know who their parent was. I've met some vindictive women that will keep that child from the dad, but not let them not know him. I haven't personally. I know it is some out there, but I haven't personally.
But knowing your mom, do you think she would do that?
No.
I don't think
Honestly,
But a lot of times, people's personal issues affects the kids.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole lot of times where it's like, the mom could be mad at the dad, so I'm gonna keep him from,
Yeah,
and they were young.
And I'm messed up.
Yeah, it's all over like that.
My mom was young, 18,
Right.
19 years old, having me.
Yeah, but see, just off the fact that you said she would put you in the car, take you to the Kmart. I remember the Kmart.
Yeah.
Then take you to that lot
Been
and
there
let
once.
you
Yeah.
see him. Like,
She put forth some effort.
I'm pretty sure she was the effort behind that. That she was,
And she would take me.
telling
She
him,
would
like,
take me over
you need to see him. You need to let him know who you are. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
pretty sure she organized and orchestrated that meeting,
Right.
hoping that it will open his eyes and make him want to be there for his
Right.
son.
And she would take me over to my grandma's house too, his mom.
Right. See?
So I knew of
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, she
But I
didn't
was
keep,
little.
She,
You know,
she didn't keep you from your dad.
Yeah. How was your grandma's relationship with you? Like, they was
my mom's mom? Or?
no, your dad's mom. That's
well,
what
I
you
was
went.
little.
Oh.
So I,
You
Okay.
don't remember.
Okay.
But my aunties say
See,
everybody
everybody
loved him. No,
Dang.
he's part of the family.
Cute little wheel.
Man.
He's part of the family. You part of the family.
Right.
Cutie pie wheel.
Ew, man, I thought you grew up with both parents in the house, man.
You never know unless you
No,
ask. You know what I
right.
mean? Because, like, you learn from different people.
Yeah.
You learn from grandma. You learn from my aunts, uncles, friends.
Mm-hmm.
Friends, parents.
I can sit here and say that I haven't learned from my dad though. Nothing.
I can
Not
agree.
a single
Right.
thing. But to
Yeah,
push people away.
Nothing.
But to push people away.
Oh, man.
Because in my mind, he abandoned me. So that's the way I feel I do to people. No. You just stay over there. Oh, you need some help? No, I don't need no help. I got it. I'm good. When inside, I need help.
I used to be
You know
like
what I
that
mean?
real bad, man. Just knowing I needed help until I got this.
Right.
I struggle till I figure it out.
People were like that.
Because
I have that same personality.
It's hard. It's hard.
I like just do it for myself, with the experience.
Man, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to ask for help.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
We're going to another topic.
And
I didn't get no word in edgewise, and we about almost 2:00. But it was a good conversation. I didn't want to cut y'all off.
It was
very good. But I mean, I'd have a different perspective, but I mean, it wasn't heavy just give some information. That's about it.
Give it real quick. Give it real quick.
Yeah, because
Now mine ventured off into step parenting. That's another topic. Because after my parents divorced, then they both remarried. And with my father, he married his wife, and she had 2 other kids, and that was a
no, it wasn't bad.
Now you met my stepbrother.
Yeah.
Saturday. But he wasn't that bad. But
the sisters.
The other ones.
he had a sister, but she passed away. May Kathy rest in peace. But yeah, it was rough. Step parenting was rough with that. So
I don't know nothing about the step parent.
yeah, see, that's another old
Mama
topic.
had
Like I said.
Like I said, I did have
but I
a
ain't
stepdaddy,
respect
but
none
he
of them.
was abusive. So
Yeah, I ain't respect
No.
none of them guys. I ain't.
My stepmother, she was okay. You know, she very strong minded, very strong willed person, but she had her issues. Yeah, but we learned to agree to disagree, and we're grown now, and I mean it's all good. But in my teen years,
Just bumping heads. Just
man,
class.
it was bad.
You ain't my mama. You can't tell me what to do.
That's exactly
you stand under this house. And I'm paying these bills. You gonna tell me what to do.
That's exactly how it went down.
I'm gonna tell my daddy. I already called him. He on the way.
That's exactly how it went down.
wow.
Now, Reek, for you growing up, if you got in trouble, did both parents come down on you?
Oh, I was the youngest. Oh, I'm the youngest, so I pretty much got away with everything. But I mean, both of them were still hard on me. But
Not like
it wasn't
Joe was
that
spoiled
hard.
because grandma used to spoil
Yeah.
him.
See, my dad was the youngest, and then I'm his youngest. So I'm the
baby
so
boy,
I
baby
got
boy.
away with some stuff.
The baby boy, baby boy.
Grandma spoiled you too.
Yeah. So my grandma.
So you
Grandma
watched
spoiled me
Richie
too.
and your
So,
brother did.
Oh yeah, especially like my grandma, my cousin them used to come to me like, "Hey, can you go ask grandma for something, and so we can get it?" And I'm like, just ask her for something. But if I ask her, she's gonna give it to me, regardless. Like, hey, she was like, "Yeah, that's the baby's baby."
because I was a baby for the longest.
So I mean, it was.
You had your plus and minuses.
All right, this was a good show, man.
It was.
We're gonna
Really
wrap
good
this
show.
thing on up.
We talked about a lot, and hope everybody enjoys this episode of Non-Fiction. Till next time, peace.
Peace.